Hello everyone, it's Thalan McRom and we're back in our vanilla vintage story playthrough. I just loaded in where I logged out last time. The drifters seem to have found my forge room door and are trying to make themselves at home in my house, but we're not going to let them do that. We've got our 5 meteoric iron ingots left from where we made our first meteoric iron, and our first meteoric iron pick right there. We're going to put our character to bed and we'll get started again in the morning. In this episode, with it becoming winter, as you can see, it is November 4th, and I have 12-day months, so we're a third of the way through the month of November. We're going to focus on finishing up our road project. We're going to start cutting through the mountain over here, getting our road laid down, and eventually, once we get to the other side here, so I'm probably going to come all the way over here to this little section here, because it looks like my road should go straight through here, over this little spit of land here, and out onto this area here. We're probably going to lay down our dock right there. That's what I'm thinking. So that is one of the major goals. We're also going to make a few minor improvements to our windmill, I think, although it works just fine. And we're also going to finish making the lanterns to line our road for the lighting to keep drifters from spawning around. We're also going to put a few more lanterns just in general around the base. And I think the other thing we're going to work on um, is we're going to start walling this area in so that we can forge at night and not be bothered by the drifters as much. And then the other thing I kind of want to do is we're going to work on expanding my food cellar here a little bit. I'm going to add a few more barrels in here. Probably 2 more barrels there. And then I'm going to put some more shelves on that side. And then we're going to put some shelves, I think up above them, actually. We'll do like another layer of shelves on either side here. I think we'll call the cellar done at that point. But anyways, that's all to come. Let's get our character to bed. We have a bunch of fruit to harvest in the morning and other things to get done. Alright, folks. It's morning. We're going to get out and start working on some of our chores around the base here. Seems like the drifters might still be out and about a little bit. More worried about the boat when I saw wandering around earlier. Try and get rid of this drifter here real quick. You can hear the boat run. Let's see. There he is. Go. Alright. Bowtorn's dealt with. One of the drifters has been dealt with. Let's go harvest him. Alright. Looks like I harvested all these berries last time. So that drifter was suffering from the same problem that I've been dealing with. And one of my mods is apparently still affecting my vanilla game. And it basically just means sometimes the harvesting on the drifters is a little weird. But I've been ignoring it because it's kind of a minor issue. Alright. So let's go ahead and get the crops that are ready to be harvested here, just so they don't sit out here too much longer in the cold. Mostly this flax that seems to be ready. At least some of it, anyways. Just to add to my already incredibly large flax reserves at this point. Which, I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, if I'm honest. It means I always have food for the animals, and it also means that I can easily expand my windmill if I feel so inclined, which I do. So, there we go. These crops are all settled and dealt with. Imagine these will be ready the next day or so. So there we go. There's that. Now these fruit trees we didn't get in the ground soon enough last year, so they didn't produce anything this season, but next year they will produce, which is going to be nice. Alright, let's see here. Are any of these ready? No, but they're getting close. Kind of impressed that they are not suffering from any cold issues. That's the joy of a good greenhouse. This is probably going to be like the last of the flax we're going to be able to grow in here realistically. Outside of this, we're going to switch over to like rye and other colder weather plants. Let's see here. Yep, there's a little bit more here. Go. Alright. One more flax to mature in here. On this side. Let's go ahead and get some rye planted. Do some rye. Finish off what we just harvested in here. Some rye there. Right there. Beautiful. Alright. Looks like we've gotten all of that done. Very good. Very good. The other thing that we can use all this flax for is to make like bandages and stuff for when we go to the desolation, as that will be in the future. Not going there right now, obviously, but you know, we're going to spend winter getting ready for it so that we can go there during spring. Alright, let's see here. Well, I don't really have enough space for all of this flax in this box. And I can put some over here. I've got so much flax. I'm going to have to build some extra storage chests as part of what we're working on today. Just to store all this flax and stuff. Or I could always build like a storage crate for the flax, I suppose. Alright, throw my seeds in there. Beautiful. Alright, let's go get our... We have one of our pickaxes. We're going to need another one. And also going to check our animals. Make sure they've all got food. How you doing, elk? You got food? Yep, you've got food. We'll go ahead and top it off for you here. There you go. The elk doesn't need to be fed, technically speaking, but it keeps him happier and makes him stay in there better. How are my animals looking here? Low weight on all you guys. So we're going to top all that off. And the other thing I'm going to do... I need to separate out my boars and my sows. Alright. So actually, let's go ahead and handle the pigs real quick, because they need to be cold. Do I have any... I have small... Oh, I'm not fencing there. What about over here? That's ladders. Oop. I might be able to do it with just this little bit of fence here. We will see. Alright. Thought I had more fencing stored up than that. Okay. So what I'm going to do here real quick. I'm going to throw down a single block of dirt here so I can get up on top of the fence. And then I'm going to throw some fence along here because these two are boars. We're going to get rid of them. The good news is they don't aggro and protect each other. So, there we go. Get some more meat and hides going here. Now, ideally, what I want to do is just keep the higher generation sows here. Now, I'm going to get my fence back out. Let's see here. Come on. Let me separate this out. This boar over here, please. Not you. You get out of there. Out of the way. There we go. That works. And what I can do is There we go. That's another boar done. This is also letting me use up this stone knife flint knife I found while I was out and about. Alright, so let's see here. You want to come over here for me, Sam? Because if I can get the sows over here, that would be good. There we go. Alright, sow. Let's see here. Boar. Those are sows there. Can I kind of force you guys over there? Nope. Just the sows, please. Just the sows. Just the sows. Just the sows. Yep. We're going to kind of bump them into the pin here. Good pigs. There we go. Alright. So we've got Generation 1 sow ready to mate. Generation 2. And another Generation 1. So what we'll do, we're going to get rid of these two. And the reason we're getting rid of the boars is because the boars don't actually help with generations. There we go. It's just the sounds generation that matters. Alright. Beautiful. I wish I had something I could do with these bones other than just, like, harvesting them for making bone meal. The real trick is not to hit one of the pigs. Particularly one of the sows. I don't want to hurt the sows here. There we go. Alright. Dig this dirt back out. The other thing is, that'll mean the boars will stop eating the sow's grain. So, if I want to be super efficient, what I would do is actually, I may even do that, is I'd separate out this Generation 2 sow, kill these Generation 1 sows. I actually think I will do that. Let's see here. Alright. I believe my Generation... Alright, so let's see here. Your Generation 1. Come on, over here, please. Get. You're also Generation 1. Good. Go on. You've had food. You're good. No, back. Both of you. Go on. Okay. These greedy little pigs. Alright. Generation 2 sow, then. Just need to separate out. There. Okay, Generation 1. Generation 1. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright. We've gotten rid of the old generations of pigs. Which is giving us a nice amount of fat as well. The other reason this is important is because once I get down to Generation 3, I can actually use the Butcher's Cleaver, or we'll get up to Generation 3, I should say. I can actually use the Butcher's Cleaver to harvest them that way, so I'm not having to fight them with my sword. Come on, you're in the way. Come on. Here. There you go, look at that. There's food over there. Yep, that's what you wanted. There we go. And I'll give you a little bit of food too. There you go. Perfect. There. So now, this one will eat, and we'll end up with Generation 3 pigs, which you can then slaughter with the Butcher's Cleaver without having to get in here with a sword and stuff and do it that way. But now let's go put this all away, because we don't want it going bad on us. And extra hides means extra leather. let's see here. 6 times 4 is 24. So there we go. That's perfect. Alright, so we're going to go in here. An empty jug. Oh, these are all like super full. But we have enough space in this one for the meat. And the hides. That does not need to go in a hide, thankfully. Or in the pot, thankfully. Let's see here. There's my animal fat. I knew I had some. And I was storing my bones around here somewhere. Here's my extra bones. I've got... Man, I've just got flax stashed everywhere. That'll work right there. Okay. Cool. There we go. Got everyone all fed up. There we go. I'm gonna put this oil lamp in here for now. Pick up my actual lantern. And then I'm gonna grab all of this, all these support beams here, because we're gonna want those. And then I'm gonna grab, I know I've got some extra low fertility soil around here somewhere. Maybe outside in storage. Yeah, I think it's outside in storage. Which is perfectly fine. Like, that's a good place for it to be. Alright, so let me grab some stones here. I don't want to use any of those. We'll just mine stone. It'll be alright. What time is it? You know how late it gets in this game. Or how dark it gets so quickly. But alright. So let me get my pick out. I need the pick. Got a little bit of durability left on it. I'm gonna grab and put another stack of dirt real quick. There we go. Alright. Now I'm gonna get over here. We're gonna start mining. Alright, folks. It's actually the next day. I came over here, initially started to clear out some of the gravel, and realized I needed to make a new shovel. So I went and made a new shovel, as well as made a second iron pick, just because I didn't want to use my meteoric iron pick for this. We're now going to get back to our digging and clearing out of gravel over here, because I do want to clear out all this gravel, because I am still going to continue my lining of this area with the andesite cobblestone. You know, keep my design going for the whole length of the road. There we go. That's why I needed that. I also needed it over here to clear out this gravel over here, because we're going to clear out a lot of this gravel. Because I've been thinking about it, I kind of want to go up like 4 high here. We're going to have to dig out a lot of this gravel. Yep. Basically what I'm going to have to do is kind of work my way up here a little bit. Because this is 2 high. This will be 3 high here. Here we've got some wolves nearby. They live on kind of the other side of this mountain. There we go. So we need to also... So that should be fine there. We are going to need to clear out this one, though. Alright. And then... So this should be 2 high here, I believe. That should be number 3. That should be number 4. So we need to clear out this line of gravel here. Alright, so now, if we come in with our pick, we should be able to do like this. Now we're going to get a lot of bauxite, so I'm probably going to have to spend a lot of time processing bauxite here. Alright. there is a method from my madness that I will show you all once I get kind of deeper into here. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be the top and start of our cave. And what I'll probably do is I'll probably make some bauxite cobblestone to kind of level that side there a little bit, make it look a little more man-made. And this is perfect. This is going to let us mine into some andesite right here. There we go. Beautiful. So now you notice this has a fairly low stability. So that's part of the reason I brought with me a bunch of support beams. Guess one, we're going to need them. Actually, I can take this lantern off for the moment. Because what I'm going to go ahead and do is head back to the house, grab a little bit of clay, get my cobblestone just to fill that in, and then we're going to put in our first support beam right here. So let me go do that real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back with our 2 pieces of bauxite cobblestone, and there we go. So now it's starting to look a little more cave-like. So I'm going to take some support beams here. We're just going to go to that corner, all the way to that corner, and there. That eliminates the instability, and we can get back to our mining here. Now we're just going to work it down one layer at a time. We're starting to hit andesite, which should be good, because that'll mean we can get back to our andesite cobblestone on the side. Because I was running low on andesite anyways. Alright. There we go. I'm going to stack these back up. And I figure we'll do layers like this every few rows. It's going to be a lot of wood that we're going to need. Now, the good news is we've got a lot of wood because I plant trees all the time. I just heard a landslide back there somewhere. I also heard a shiver, so I'm wondering if a shiver triggered a landslide somewhere behind my little mining spot here. It was like a goat. I could also be mistaken there. Let me grab some of these sticks real quick. A pine cone. Yep, there's that shiver. I said I heard one. Let's go deal with this before this shiver becomes a problem. Which is weird. Activity is real calm, so I don't know why there's a shiver. Yeah, it got me. Nothing on that one. Good. There's a copper vein right here, and I've somehow not missed it. Okay, I just have not noticed this copper vein sitting over here, apparently. I've been through here so many times. Good lord. Alright, well, back to the mining now that I've dealt with the sugar. Alright, so we've done 2. So these are at 50 or 25%. So we might do every 3, I think. Because we don't want any cave-ins. Because that would really hinder mining. So there we go, we've done that. So now we'll do our next layer, and then we'll do a layer of mine supports. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do to make it easier to put the mine supports in is I'm going to go ahead and put them in while I'm sitting here. So, go. So, like, if we go towards the middle here, like, that's almost 50% collapse right there. So let's just do our support beam like that. Right there across the top. Look at that. 0 instability all throughout here. Like, we got a 25% right there. I'm not really sure why. But, you know, that's alright, because that's not next to where we're mining, so it's not a problem. There goes our first iron pick. But there we go. So that's the pattern we're going to be keeping. And let's see here. So I'm going to need some more mine supports. And some other things. But, oh, goodness. What are you doing over here, sugar? See that? It snuck up on me. Lord. I don't even know where that one came from. I think there's a cave up there. And I think they're coming down out of that cave. If I had to guess. Let me grab this resin while I'm sitting over here. Alright. But I'm going to keep at it, and I'll bring you back with updates as we make more progress. Well, my next update was a lot sooner than I thought it would be. So we've mined into a cave. Can't say I'm super surprised. I kind of expected this to happen when we were mining. Here's that block. In case I needed a block of andesite, there it is. We're going to go ahead and mine into here a bit. Just hope we don't cause a cave-in. Some of the stability around here is pretty bad. There we go. Well, I think we know where the shivers are coming from. Alright. Oh, good. I did get that block of andesite. Beautiful. So one of the things I'm going to do is go ahead and we'll just keep mining as if this cave isn't here for the moment. So I need to take a run back of stuff. I can hear you up there. Oh, yep, there's that Bowtorn. Wasn't where I expected him to be deeper in the cave. This place has got all kinds of caves. Alright. Let me get out my lantern real quick. We're going to take a quick poke around in this little cave here. Okay, what I will do is actually get my lantern in my offhand to give myself a little more inventory space. And so I can carry my sword. And we're just going to take a quick look. See if there's anything sticking out. We got some water in here. That's interesting. And bauxite gravel down here. It's one advantage of having a lantern is water like that's not a threat to it. Not hearing too much. Cracked andesite. I don't see anything on the ceiling that we really don't want to mine in here, from the looks of it. I have my pro pick, so we'll do a little... Well, actually, I've done a node search here, haven't I? Go, yep. Yeah, so we've prospected in this area before, and it's not good, so I don't expect to see anything of value. I see you over there, bud. Oh wow, good lord. Alright. That's two of them dead. This one's trying to make a run for it. This is why we're gonna have to be careful how we build this tunnel. There we go. Otherwise we're gonna end up with a lot of guests like this bothering us in our tunnel. So that's part of the reason I'm building all these lanterns, so we can start lighting the tunnel with lanterns to help stop spawns, and we'll have to build in like a little wall or something over here. I really actually don't care about that. Butcher this one up real quick. Alright, nothing to that one. So, alright. Well, I'm going to go offload and I'll be back, but there you go. We found our first cave. I'm not surprised by. So we're going to have to seal that off and get that area closed in nicely. Alright, I've decided to do a couple things real quick. One, I came and healed myself from where I had a little fight with the Bowtorn. And number two, I decided I'm going to go ahead and make some linen items here real quick. So first things first. I'm going to do a full stack of, black twine here. There we go. All right. And then got some linen. That's the Gambeson. I don't want that. I want the tailored Gambeson. Alright, tailored Gambeson. So I need bolts of fabric for that. So to make the bolt of fabric, I need to stick in linen. Alright, so perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a whole bunch of linen. I have a whole bunch of flax laying around right now. There we go. That should be enough, I think. There. Alright, so let's do this. Just going to do that real quick. And then, if we wanted to make the tailored Gambeson, we need that and a sewing kit, which I can make a sewing kit. That's not a problem. Because a sewing kit is just 4 of these and a stick. There we go. Sewing kit's beautiful. All right, put that back in there for now. All right, so let's go back into here. We're going to go... All right, Gambeson. So, need 2 across the top, or middle there. 2 and 2. So that's all 10 of that. There we go. So there's our Gambeson. Go into... Come on. Back here, Gambeson. There we go. We're going to throw this on because... So the Gambeson basically has the least downsides. Or the tailored Gambeson. As far as, like, armor goes. It doesn't slow you down. The only thing it does is it increases your hunger rate a little bit. And it reduces your healing effectiveness. Basically, it takes longer for you to apply healing. But it's got good protection. And it just costs you linen to fix it. So... We're going to make some more linen real quick here. There we go. So we're going to make, like, let's say 9 more pieces of fabric on a bundle here. And now for the pants, we need 1 of these. Yep, that's what I did. We need 1 of these. It was like 1 of each of these on the side here. That's pastoral pants, and then it was a piece. There's our tailored Gambeson leg armor. Beautiful. Now to make the helmet, we need 2 more of these. There we go. 2, and we need 1 there, 1 there. Need that there. And there's our helmet. There we go. We are good to go as far as armor goes now. This armor will last us perfectly fine around the base. And it uses up some of our flax so good kind of hoarding, which is good. So actually let me reorganize our flax a little bit here. Because I'd like to get it all kind of back in one place. Which is also just... I need to get a better box for storing my flax. Anyways, there we go. So, we're now armored up. We're now healed up. I've got some andesite. cobblestone that we're going to use to seal up that thing. The other thing I was going to go do real quick is I'm going to go cut down one of these trees because I need some more boards. So let's go ahead and get our boards. Again, there's a reason for everything I'm doing here. So we're just going to knock this one down right here. Go. Got that pine cone. Perfect. So I'm going to replant that tree real quick. Just because, you know, it's always good to replant your trees. And I left these open on the side here on purpose. I'm going to go get my saw. And I'll show you why we're doing this. So where's my saw? There it is. Alright. And we're going to take some of this here. And we're going to... Actually, I think I have some more pine boards around here. Let me go check and see if I actually have more pine boards here. One of these boxes had boards in it. This one. Yep, there we go. Let's do this and this, because I think I could also do that. Yeah, right, there we go. It gets rid of those excess boards I had. Beautiful. And then we're going to make some doors, which we're going to use in our construction project here. Because we're going to make a door for our cave. Because we don't really want to shut off access to that cave, but I don't really want it just open either, so there we go. It gives me some extra boards for some other purposes too. Alright, but I'm gonna go work through the night here. Yeah, it's calm right now, so I'm gonna go I have 2 candles. But let's leave one of these in here. And I got all this flax. Grab just this half stack here. We're going to take our... Help if I removed this pot first. There we go. We're going to put that right there for the moment. Grab that pot, put it up there. And we're going to go and make a bunch more candles. There we go. The other thing I'm going to do is we're going to get a bunch of these ingots here in a minute, and we're going to make some more lanterns so I can keep running my lanterns down the road, which will make the road project easier, keep going at night, and we'll also want them for inside of our tunnel to keep the drifters from spawning. But I'll bring you back as we make progress on that. I'll show you in a second. And in case you have never made candles before, that's how you make candles right there. Man, I might not have put enough fuel in there. And also, if you've never made candles before, once you make candles in a pot, that pot is done. You can only use it for making candles or glue. You can't use it for anything else. Alright, just finished the Hellhammer, and I've got 10 more copper plates. Now I just got to figure out what I'm going to make the glass out of. So I've got 25 clear quartz, which I think is what we'll use. So 10 and 10, and we'll put our plates there, our candles there, and there's 8 lanterns, 10 lanterns, and we got 2 candles left over. Funny enough, exactly the number we started with. Alright, so I'm going to put these 2 candles away. Oh good, I did have some more stone paths made up already. Perfect. I'm going to put away like half of this clay for now. Well, actually, I'll keep the clay because I do need more cobblestone. I'm going to go put away this conglomerate stone. I don't think we're going to be getting a whole lot more right this second. throw that in there for now. This conglomerate gravel we'll put away as well. There we go. Alright. So, let me put away the rest of the things I don't need anymore. The other thing I need is I need some of these planks. So we're going to do a bit of fence crafting here. There we go. We'll start with 32. See where that gets us. And the reason we're making some fencing is because I'm lining my road in fencing. So there we go. I do think I can put away my elk whistle for now as well as my rope. I don't really need those for the moment. There we go. That looks a bit better. Alright. Oh, I left my good lantern upstairs. By the forge. Alright. One thing I'm going to do is put this in my offhand. What we're going to go do right now, we're actually going to work on putting out a few more lanterns here for our road. So you see how this is nice out here and how it's lit up nicely here. So what we're going to do is when we're going to stop, we're going to pick this one up, put a fence pole down, put the lantern back on top of it. We're going to go over here, do the same thing over here. Pick it up, fence pole, lantern. And if you're wondering why these are not stacking with these, that's because these are technically different. I made those with glass panels, and I made these with quartz panels on the sides. So now we're going to go and line our road here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and number 13 is where we're putting them. Let me grab out my new lanterns. And as you can see, these have a slightly more frosted look on the glass than the glass panel ones. And that's part of the minor details that you have to pay attention to in this game. So we keep working our way down the road here until we run out of cobblestone. 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And while I'm not sure the exact distance I should be putting between lanterns to make sure that it's bright enough to keep drifters and things from spawning, 13 seems to be about bright enough for me. Alright, folks, I'm working on the tunnel here. I'm seeing how much cobblestone I can make here. I can make a few more. So we're going to take this cobblestone here. Kind of what I'm thinking here. Is we're going to go up to this level here. Then, actually, what I'll do is come along here, and this is where I'm going to put the door for now. Yeah, I think that'll work. There we go. So that'll be nice and sealed off. I'm also going to seal this off over here because I want to go straight. I don't want to make turns. Oh, goodness. And we apparently have a friend. Our new armor's already getting to work. Good out for it here. One problem with these shivers, they can climb quite well. I didn't want a new friend. Friend shiver. That's why we're working on sealing this off here. There we go. Alright, that ought to be enough to kind of keep the monsters out of our hair for a moment, until we can get a bit more cobblestone made. The other thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and mine this out real quick. And while I would normally use this bauxite to make refractory bricks. I'm just going to use it in this case to make more stone pathway here. Because we're going to go ahead and get our stone pathway paved out in here. There we go. So I'm going to put this down here. Go. Side. You don't have enough conglomerate, but that's okay. And this will help us know where we need to start mining more andesite at. There. So. Need to feed my character real quick. Now, I do intend to seal off this side to the right as well, but it seemed less critical than the deeper area over here. Due to the fact that it's less likely for things to spawn over here in the sunlight. Not impossible, just less likely. Let me go ahead and get mining done here. I can hear something causing landslides up above us on the ceiling there. Probably another Shiver or something. Or the goat. I'm hearing a goat up there. So I just heard some sort of Bowtorn or something. Alright. There we go. That's the end of our currently made stone pathway. There we go. There's some more cobblestone. That sealed off a bit there. This is where I'm working on the other side here. Not salvage phase. It's going to be more important for now. The other thing I want to do is actually going to like level this area out here with cobblestone as well. Just because I can. Back to the mining. Constantly mining. Mess that up. Always start at the top when you can. Prevents cave-ins that way. But I'll bring you back in a minute once we've made a bit more progress on our mining. Well, folks, just to keep things interesting, we've mined into another cavern. Only after having made it through this one. So it looks like I'm going to be needing a lot more clay and a lot more cobblestone to keep these things sealed up. But that's okay. I don't expect this one to have too much of interest in it either. But we're going to keep working our way through here. Go. Alright, I just wanted to do that real quick because I kind of come up with a new plan of how I'm going to put in my mine supports here. Because I've noticed it looks a little bit better, it seems, if I put them in like after I do the mining. I don't know. Alright. So here we are. Out into the next cavern. Which we're going to have to be a little careful with here. One of the things I'm going to do to go ahead and get myself a bit more andesite is go ahead and mine this out real quick here. I kind of got an idea. I think I'll probably leave this right side open I'm not going to wall it off, per se. I might put in, like, some fencing, just so that, you know, if wolves or something spawn out here, they don't come wandering onto my road. But I'm not going to, like, do a full wall like I did back here on this other side. It does mean I'm going to have to come through and knock out these stalactite, though. Stalagmites, I should say. Oh, wow, look at this cave. It goes deep. So one thing I will do, because I do need more stones for making stone paths with, is I'm going to pick those up. And it looks like that goes kind of far down. I wonder what's down here. Sometimes you can find, like, interesting outcroppings of minerals when you go down, like, the deep little water holes like that. We're going to poke around just a little bit. Like, I would be curious to go mining in here a little bit, poking around. But I am going to have to be careful about how I approach that, because look at this, that's a straight drop down. So what I'm probably going to need is some rope ladders to get down there. And again, I will put in, like, my wall like I've been doing. Do a wall on this side, but I'll leave myself, like, a doorway that goes into there. Ooh. You can hear it down there. I could hear the shiver. At least I think it was down there. Could have been back over this way. Or up there. Yep, no, it came from down there. Just like a... Yep, got it. Still nothing. Alright. But over here... Put my lantern away because I don't really need it. But over here is where I've been hearing the wolves. And I see them when I come by on my boat. They're usually hanging out over there, roughly, give or take. But alright, let me go get some more clay and things so we can actually continue our project. And I'll bring you back once I have those things in my inventory here. Well, folks, I decided to sleep through the night after going out and getting a bunch of clay to make some more cobblestone and some more stone pathways and whatnot. And we have woken up on a high temporal activity day with temporal rift also kind of inbound. Or a temporal storm, I should say. In fact, it was a medium temporal storm. Oh, good lord, that shiver is not going away. Here I am just trying to get over here to put down some of this stuff. And that shiver wanted a piece of me. Got some deer / elk down in this area. It's going to be interesting. But alright, so let's put the rest of this stuff down here. Go. Now I'm going to finish sealing off this area here, like we were working on. Because my thought process is basically we're going to work on getting to this area. And then I'm going to, instead of lining the sides like I've been doing with the lanterns, I'm going to put them actually hanging from the ceiling. That's kind of my thought process. Oh. Oh, you almost got me. Yeah, that one almost got me. I mean, it poked me with its melee attack, which thankfully I'd rather take the melee attack than have to eat the full-fledged arrow from one of those. Okay, that drifter is apparently coming over here. We're starting to attract a bit of a crowd, it looks like. Now, this area is nice and sealed in, so we're wandering in from the cave there. And I'm just going to take the rest of this andesite, and we're just going to walk our way back down here and lay it out a bit. Because I kind of want to get these lanterns in, and then we'll head back to the house to kind of wait out the temporal storm. Actually, I just realized I need to feed my character. Carrying this soup around with me. Should probably actually eat it. There we go. Fingers all topped off there. Alright, so let's get these andesite blocks down. So 1, 2, 6, 13. Go. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. We're getting there. I feel like I double counted there. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 13. It's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 15. Alright. So, all the lanterns we've made have gotten us to this point. So we're almost to our cave entrance with our lanterns. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, our next one's going to be right here at the entrance. So, yeah. You know what? That's alright. We'll put it here. Actually, I think I'll do a special. I'll go ahead and do that just to mark it. There we go. So we know that's where our next one will go. And I'm thinking about hanging that one from the ceiling. I wanted to get it perfectly center. I should have really done 5 wide, 3 wide. But, hindsight, it's alright. And I think I'll do is just hang them from the ceiling and kind of alternate back and forth a little bit like we've been doing. That way we can kind of keep the alternating pattern going. I'll just throw this block here. Just get rid of it. There we go. Get this out of my inventory, and then we're going to use some of this fencing here to kind of finish running our fence along here. I didn't realize I made this out of pine. I meant to make maple fence. Well, I'll find some other use for this fence. Because I want this to all match along here. Could go cut down a maple tree real quick. Yeah, I'll go do that. I'm going to go cut down a maple tree. Get a little bit more maple fencing so I can get rid of this pine fencing. We'll save that for, like, use with the animals or something. But I think we're going to call this episode here for now. I've been recording for about 2 hours, which is usually more than enough time to get between a 30-minute and an hour episode out, which is what I kind of like to shoot for when I'm editing these things down a bit. Definitely need to do something about our rooftop blacksmith situation, though. As much as I like it, I want it to be a bit more enclosed, a bit more protected. So we're going to have to build something. There. Oh, well, there's that temporal storm. Guess I'll have to wait on cutting down the maple tree for now. But anyways, I think going back to base here as this temporal storm rushes in on us is a good place to kind of call it for now. So I want to thank you all for joining me. This has been Thalan McRom playing our vanilla vintage story playthrough, and we've built a lot of road today. We did a lot of road work. We're making good progress. Like, we've actually mined all the way to this area over here with our road. So we're cutting through the mountains now. So next step's going to be this side. Once we kind of get through here, though, we'll be kind of probably done with the mining. Might be a little bit of digging or something over here. Because I kind of think right over this area right here is where we're going to work on building the dock / storehouse for offloading the boat. And then we'll see if it hasn't frozen over too much out there, we'll move the boat down into it. I think we can do all that next episode. I'm going to get down here in my house before I end up with drifters in my face. I mean, it's just a medium temporal storm. It shouldn't be too much of anything. But anyways, folks, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching these videos, and I want to say thank you to my patrons who help support the channel. All of you are great, and I hope you all have a great one, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much.